folks, Chris Waters here live on the Comic-Con show floor. I'm joined by Ken Balough from Sega. Ken, great, thank you for joining us. And what are you here to show us? It is
Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4, folks. We got it for you here. We're playing it right now. We got a demo for you. And Ken's got something special for you all later on. Can you want to give him a little teaser?
Yeah, we definitely brought a very rare and exclusive item over here for the Comic-Con fans, and we'll be announcing it later in the show.
That's right, folks. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that giveaway in just a little bit, but now let's take a look at the game.
Sure.
So where are we here? Sonic, beloved franchise.
Totally.
Sonic 4, the rebirth of his two-dimensional styles.
Absolutely. I mean, Sonic 4, bringing it back to, this glory Sega Genesis days. We're very excited to be showing it again. We've got here Splash Hill Zone, which is our very own Tunugan here is demoing for us. And it really just brings it back to everything that we grew up with, in the 90s about Sonic. We're really taking the time to sort of craft that two-dimensional, momentum-based gameplay. But what's even more amazing is we've made this a real project for the fans. We've listened to the fans, what they've said as we've been developing the game, and we've taken a lot of their feedback into account and sort of made including modifications to the game based on what the fans have wanted. So this is really a labor of love for everybody involved.
Well, it sounds pretty cool. So in terms of, you mentioned how you adapted to the fan feedback. Can you give us an example maybe of an element that the fans sort of guided you on?
I mean, one of the things that we noticed that the fans told us right off the bat was that Sonic actually, to them, looked slow. You accelerated slow. That's one thing that we've already changed in the new builds. We've got Sonic going but it takes a lot less time for him to go from inert state to maximum velocity. A lot of things that have to do with the visuals as well, including the logo at the beginning of it. I don't know if you had a chance to see the E3 demo. Sonic, it looks a little bit sort of stagnant. He's going to do the full animation now. So we've got a lot of really cool things that we're changing and making sure that the fans are happy with.
Excellent. Very glad to hear it. And yeah, this Splash Hill Zone, these areas are really reminding me of that Green Hill Zone that I booted up, thousands of times.
Totally. It plays like it. We've definitely got a few new tricks up. We've got Sonic interacting with the environment in new ways, which is really cool. But the main thing about it is it's just the first episode, so there is a lot more to come on this game. We've already told everybody if you go back, you collect all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds, you unlock a secret ending that'll give you a sneak peek into episode 2, and I think fans are going to be incredibly happy with what they see.
That sounds like something that's right up their alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so collecting Chaos Emeralds. Now that's a bonus thing. You got to strive. You got to collect those rings.
Totally.
How do we get into the bonus stage where you can get your hands on a Chaos Emerald? Talk to us about that progression.
Absolutely. Basically, we wanted to take a look at sort of the numbering system and the rate that we did back in the Genesis days. So collect 50 of those Chaos Emerald rings. Make it to the end with the 50 of the rings, and you open up, the giant ring at the end.
Yeah.
Jump through the giant ring, get to that special stick. Don't miss that giant ring, and you'll be able to go for the Chaos Emeralds. You collect 100, obviously, we give you an extra life.
Yeah.
So everything plays and feels like you're
a
playing.
Classic.
Absolutely.
All right, now. Over the classic run of the series, there were a lot of different incarnations of that Chaos Emerald special zone.
Sure.
You had this sort of dreamy, twisting world from the first one. You had that tunnel that you got to run through. What are we looking at in Sonic 4?
You're definitely going to look at sort of reimagination of those.
Okay.
You're going to see it's a little bit new. It's got a lot of different dynamic to it. The Chaos Emeralds themselves, I don't know if you remember the first and the second, they all had sort of a different look, the emeralds. You're definitely going to get sort of an HD reimagination of those emeralds. And you're also going to be able to go back and play them. I think the big thing is that when you play the classic games, if you didn't finish the level with the 50 and you sort of didn't get that emerald, you got to the end and you're like, man, I gotta reboot it all over again. You missed the chance.
Have so many.
We're gonna be a little bit more forgiving with this. So you're gonna be able to reboot those levels that you think you missed that Chaos Emerald at, replay it, get the 50, jump into the ring, and go for it. We really want you to sort of get all 7 of them.
And of course, when you get all 7 of them,
you get that hidden ending. And
the hidden ending.
Absolutely. You get that hidden ending, and it's that sneak peek into really what's to come in Sonic 4. And everybody's just everybody that has seen it internally is thrilled that we're being able to do this. So I know the fans are going to be happy.
Excellent. Now, previously, you know, Sonic gets juiced up on the Chaos Emeralds, that's when Super Sonic comes out of the
And
booth.
Super Sonic is back, absolutely.
Right.
You do get to play Super Sonic. You know, so again, everything we wanted to bring it back to the things that you remembered, that I remembered as a kid, the team remembers. So yeah, absolutely, we're bringing back Super Sonic, and you're gonna be able to play them in any level you want because you don't have to wait anymore till you get all 7 and then go back. If you get all 7, replay another level and play with Super Sonic.
You got it right
Yeah.
there. Excellent. Now, is Super Sonic going to be sort of required to get into any secret areas, or is that just a fun way to romp through the level?
Not sort of required. We definitely wanted to make sure that the fans are able to access it. I mean, just like the classic days, each level is broken down into a high, a middle, and a low road. So you've got different ways to finish the level. So Super Sonic is just going to add a different element to it. But man, does he just go fast.
Yeah, he does. Excellent. Now, we've seen the visual similarities, and obviously this boss is familiar to anyone who
Totally.
got their Sonic the Hedgehog on back in the 90s. But talk to me about the score and the music that you guys are bringing back.
You know, the score was really interesting. I mean, we had June on the show not too long ago, and he's the composer for all the music. And basically, you know, I didn't know this, but I guess in the Genesis days, he only could really compose songs with 8 notes. So based on sort of that, they went back and he sort of looked at it and said, all right, to make it feel like a Genesis game, I'm going to need to compose it with 8 notes again. So he composed the music with just 8 notes, and it did a really great job. It feels and sounds sort of like the old classic days. So the music is definitely composed by him. Each one is really composed to that individual sort of level, and then you're definitely going to hear some sort of classic sounds when you fight Dr. Robotnik at the very end.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Now, we've been seeing the title screen a few times, and that's like my thumb has almost instinctually started going up, down, left, right. Are we looking forward to any sort of little codes or hidden gems in there?
You know, we can't be announcing that just yet. You know,
Okay,
let's get it in the hands of everybody.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk about what we can announce now, and that is the special giveaway you guys have brought that we're going to be able to give to our viewers.
Totally. So, I mean, I know the fans have been really active with this game since day one, since we first posted the teaser trailer right here on GameSpot, and we announced it as Project Needle Mouse. So, sort of internally, what we did is we created a couple shirts for the crew, and they are the Team Needle Mouse t-shirts. They say Project Needle Mouse, everything that was first announced. We've brought 100 of those t-shirts here, very, very limited, very rare for the fans. So we're going to give away 100 of those t-shirts, and you'll definitely have to stay tuned to find out how we're going to be doing that
That's
here.
fantastic. Yeah, folks, we're going to be giving those away on the live show. Comic-Con is all about those exclusive giveaways, and we've got that Project Needle Mouse, a whole raft of those for you. So stay tuned for that. That's definitely something you're not going to want to miss. All right, now, Ken, you yourself are a Sonic fan.
Totally.
Now, so tell us something in particular you're excited about, maybe like a little Easter egg or something, just some nice touch that really, you know, that really embodies what you guys are trying to do with Sonic 4 here.
I mean, ultimately, it really comes down to a team of people, both in Japan, Europe, and the United States, who really cared about the classic Sonic days, really wanted to bring that back. You know, the 3D Sonic definitely has its time and place, definitely has its audience.
Absolutely.
We definitely want to be bringing that to people in a huge way. But then there's sort of like, and I hate to say it, people like me, they're a little bit more seasoned, and
curmudgeonly.
yeah, and we wanted to sort of bring them a game that reminded them of their youth. And so, you know, out of that sort of Sonic 4 was born. One of the things that really excites me is continuing that timeline, continuing building off of what Sonic 2, what Sonic 3, and Sonic & Knuckles, which was basically that Death Egg saga, and sort of building the story beyond that, and sort of making sure that we're extending that on. We've also started talking about the fact that you know, some people saw a lot of Sonic games in the 90s on the Genesis. How do they relate to one another? We may be touching on that a little bit briefly with Sonic 4. So I want to make sure that you know, fans are excited that we're revisiting that time and era, and we're bringing it to them in a huge way, and not with a remake or anything. We're bringing it to them as we're going to continue it.
Whole
you know,
new game and a couple more games in the line.
Totally.
Well, Ken, thanks so much for bringing
Thank
this
you.
by. Much appreciated.